couple verses for you guys today. We are looking at Luke 22, verse 40 and verse 46. And these are the verses right before Jesus is arrested, looking back at right when he's in the garden and he's praying and he's got Peter with him, and it's right after Jesus is like, Peter, you're going to deny me, and he's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. And then, so they go off to the garden, and Jesus is out praying, and this is what Jesus says to Peter. He says, pray that you will not give into temptation. And he walked away about a stone's throw and knelt down and prayed. And then after that, they're sleeping, right? And again, Jesus says to him, he says, why are you sleeping?
Wake up, fishy.
Wake up, fishy, why are you sleeping?
Little Nemo. Okay, no. Finding Nemo, no.
And he says, why are you sleeping? He asks him, get up and pray so that you will not give in to temptation. Yesterday when I was preparing for the devotion, it kind of hit my head of like, I'd like to do a week of most terribly quoted Bible verses.
Oh. You could do that.
Yeah, very
Daily
easily.
devotions. Boom, 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 boom.
Yep. So today we're going to kick the week off. So this is my number one first favorite misquoted Bible verse. And maybe you guys can guess by the verses beforehand that I gave you. If you can guess, throw it in there before we say it. So,
which in other words means this is a pet peeve that he has, that he does bring up. You've brought this up before.
I've brought this up before in a few of my other sermons.
Because people do misquote it a lot.
Yes, and this is my number one pet peeve, misquoted Bible verse and mistaken out of context too. It's both of those things. It's not only misquoted, but it's taken out of context. So,
do you want me to read it?
Hold on, more suspense. We gotta stroke the beard. What could it be? What could it be? Got only. Let's see. What could it be? Is that enough suspension?
You need a drum roll. Okay.
So here it goes.
I'm going to read the whole thing. Now there's a little at the beginning that maybe isn't what.
Angie got it.
You got it.
Angie got it.
Now what? She needs like a prize.
We'll give her a prize.
What is a virtual prize that we could give?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Really fun.
You get a prize though, and it's a high five. All right.
Okay,
Go
and I will read it. 1 Corinthians 10:13 says, the temptations in your life are no different from what others experience, and God is faithful. Here's the part you hear. He will not allow the temptation to be more than you can stand. When you are tempted, he will show you a way out so that you can endure.
Amen.
There's a lot of other pieces to that you don't normally hear. Normally you just hear people pull out the, he will not allow the temptation to be more than you can stand.
What we hear is, God won't give me more than I can handle, right? That's what we hear is, God won't give me more than I can handle. That's not what it says. I'm sorry to break it to you. That is not what it says. Read it one more time for me.
The temptations in your life are not different from what others experience, and God is faithful. He will not allow the temptation to be more than you can stand. When you are tempted, he will show you a way out so that you can endure.
Right. So we read in Luke here about Jesus warning Peter to get up and pray so that he doesn't fall to temptation. Right. He's told twice, why are you sleeping? Get up, pray so you don't fall into temptation. And he's begging them to be praying so that they will stay away from it. And here, the word is telling us that God will not give us more than we can handle. No.
No, not handle.
No,
right?
That's not what it says. It says he won't tempt us beyond what we can withstand. When we are tempted, he will show us a way out. So when we have those things in our lives that are always knocking at our door saying, hey, let me in, God will show us a way to shut that door and walk away from it. And it's our choice whether we're going to open the door of opportunity for those things. Let's say there's something that triggers us, anger, jealousy, temptations of other types, worldly
Maybe
temptations.
like getting pulled down into a depressive state, maybe in loneliness.
Right. And so God won't allow us to be tempted beyond what we can withstand, is what it says. And that when we are tempted, he'll be giving us a way out. I was reading in Joshua earlier today, and it was talking about he allowed them not to defeat the people around them so that he could see how faithful that they were to God. So that when he said, go defeat all these people, but there were a few people that they weren't able to drive out after they took the promised land. And it said in the scripture, it said the reason why was because I wanted to see if you guys would stay true to me. And you'd stay and you'd be looking to me. As that's why you weren't able to defeat those people. And so God allows things in our lives so that we can grow and learn and grow closer to him. And it allows us to go towards him. What the part about that is most unquoted when they say God won't allow anything that you can't handle. Of course God's going to allow things you can't handle. Because if we couldn't handle it, if we could handle it on our own, we wouldn't need him. We wouldn't need him at all if we could handle it on our own. So he gives us this verse that says he won't tempt us beyond what we can withstand, and he will show us a way out. So keep our eyes open to see those things in front of us. Keep praying, stay awake, don't fall asleep, stay awake, stay persistent, and allow God to work those things through you.
10:31 is Tom's favorite verse, he says. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God.
Amen.
That's about living
verse.
it out, right? Everything
right.
for his glory. Yeah, I like that, Tom.
Thanks for
that.
sharing, Tom. So that's our verse for today, our lunchtime devotion. Stay awake, stay persistent, keep praying.
It's about being watchful, I think.
That's right.
Because he's going to show you that way always.
So stay tuned for tomorrow for one of Pastor John's pet peeves. That sounds like a fun news story. What will be next?
It's kind of evil.
All right, guys, we love you, and always go be the church, okay? God bless.